I guess this thing's running. I'm going to show you, orientation is blocked. I don't know what, I'm going to set my phone on a tripod here in a minute. Rotate device back. It doesn't want me to turn. I guess it'll work okay back this way. I'm using this new, I'm going to show you some things about, I see a lot of stuff on YouTube about how to use a Marshall amplifier, like an old Plexi, and how some people, well, what I want to do is explain to you this particular model, this Melvin Jr. This is a 20 watt. This is a brand new build that I've done for an artist, the fine, talented people with Truck Stop Gamblers. But anyway, I'm testing this one out and burning it in. This particular model is interesting in that this is based on a JCM 800 circuit, but it has some mods to eliminate the buzz saw effect. It also allows me to switch in and out the treble peak input, which is a big part of what makes a JCM 800 different than, say, an older Plexi. A big part of it. That's not the only thing. This particular amp, though, it is a volume control like a JCM 800 bass metal treble, as you would see, and a master volume. This is a post-phase inverter master. And then it has this thing called the pi drive. Now, a JCM 800 will have master volume is pre-phase inverter. So what that means is there's a volume control right before we go into the phase inverter tube, which is the last thing before the signal goes to the power output section. And there's some significance to that, and that's what I want to explain here. This amp has both. This is the pre-phase inverter master. I call it the pi drive. And this is the post-phase inverter master volume. I'm going to put the phone up here on the tripod. Pardon the sniffling. I've got some allergies going here. I'm going to put this up on the tripod here and get this. There you go. Let me drop this down just a little bit. Okay. So I'm going to do some picking for you here. Now what I have here is what I consider a setting that really benefits from the post-phase inverter master. I have the pre-phase inverter, the master all the way up. So what that means is whatever's coming through the preamp circuit, it's being hit. All of it is going into the phase inverter. Now, the significance of that phase inverter, I don't hear it talked about this way, but it almost acts kind of like its own little power amp. It has a certain compression to it when you overdrive it, and it has a bit of the feel of a cranked power section. Obviously, it's not loud. I've got the master turned way down on this one, the post master. Now, typical way, if you had a JCM 800 and you wanted to do some low volume grinding, cranking it up, and you just turn this volume all the way up, and you would have this master volume turned down low. I'm going to open the post-phase inverter, which simulates the way. This would simulate a traditional JCM 800 with the master volume low and the input volume high. You got to open it up just a little bit to get the bottom to come in. I'm using to give you a frame of reference for what these are stock pickups. I think they're probably 57 classics. So we have that. Which is great. Pretty typical cranked gain, low level master volume. Now, but what we're doing here is we're pushing the input, the preamp, but we're not pushing the phase inverter, and we're not pushing the output section because there's not a lot of signal coming through the phase inverter. I wish I had a drawing to show you. It may make more sense. So that's great. That's fun and all. But you very quickly, if you turn this volume down, you very quickly lose. It loses interestingness, I would say. Now, let's go the other route. Let's turn down the post-phase inverter master. Let's turn the pre-phase inverter master all the way up. And we get a whole different level. First of all, we get more overall gain to work with. So you can get infinite sustain. You get more than you had the other way I just showed you. But the beauty of it is you get so much more range to play with, because whatever the preamp is sending through, the phase inverter is getting it all because we have its volume cranked all the way up. So it's essentially not limiting the signal going in. And what that does is it gives us a lot more range of textures to work with. You get a nice little chime going there. As you bring the input up, it gets more saturated. And unlike when we had the post master all the way up and the pre-master down really low, notice it was really thin sounding. This way, it's satisfying all the way down to completely off. The very first sound you hear, you can hear the guitar over it. Let me tell you, if you got a new baby and the wife is cranky, this is your friend. Or if your wife's just cranky, baby or no baby. So we can turn this volume down and still get interesting, usable sounds. So we have a whole lot more range to work with the post-phase inverter master volume. And like a plexi, for instance, a regular plexi circuit, I've got other models that have it, and I'll have to do a video on them soon. You can turn it down really low and get a nice grind out of that because the phase inverter is being pushed as well in this. Now, Now that's great, but just I'm talking about the virtues of pre-phase inverter versus post-phase inverter master. Now, having both is a whole nother set of possibilities. Let's turn this down and let's turn this up. This is a JCM 800 circuit. Notice when I pull the master way up, it cleans up. We're not clipping the phase inverter quite as. Actually, that's a tangent I don't want to get off on. There's something interesting that happens with the phase inverter master. It seems to get cleaner when you turn the master volume up, and that's because you have more output going to the power tubes, and you're actually hearing the power tubes, which are not breaking up yet. So it's kind of balancing out the drive from the phase inverter. But we can get all kinds of really nice sounds. We can turn off the treble peak. So using these two master volumes together, even though this is a JCM 800 and you really don't think of, say, AC/DC as a JCM 800 sound, you can get lots of in-between, not necessarily hair metal sounds, lots of classic sounds you would think of more for a plexi. This has a hair switch which kicks in a little more gain. This is 20 watts, but it's still 20 watts. Okay, so I'm getting away from the master volume. I just have too much fun with this amplifier, so we can go. Let's see if we can get some good hair metal sounds out of this. Let's go with this, and let's go with this. I can't quit playing AC/DC. Song to play. I really don't play much hair metal. something like a JCM 800 for Okay, now the wax is rolling out of my ears. Let's go back down to the master. Woo! Yowza. So anyhow, hopefully that gives a reasonable explanation. Post-phase inverter master volume. If you care about being able to control the real volume and still getting some character out of your amp, that's the way to go. But there's a lot of beautiful texture whenever you can combine the two. The range of stuff you can get out of this little circuit in this amp, this Melvin Jr 20 watt. There's the standard one's 12. This is a transformer upgrade that makes it 20. A lot of iron there. Anyhow, thank you for listening. Comment if you have thoughts or questions. This is fun. I love sharing this stuff. Hope you guys are great. Let's see if I can get this thing off without breaking the phone. There we go. Okay, 20 minutes. Wow, how do I turn this thing off? You guys have a great rest of your weekend.